Amy Goodman of Democracy Now! You are now seeing the results of the very things that we were discussing, the very occurrences in Minneapolis police that we had broadcast and shared with you, that you censored on your station, the brutality involved, the corruption, the covert persecution that my family has endured for 3 years because of our broadcast, our online broadcast of Minneapolis police corruptions at my website, aaronjamesstory.com, and Minneapolis Police Corruption Archives.blogspot.com. It is irony that you now suffer the same persecutions that you had censored and you had failed to report on as regards to our plight. In so doing a disservice to the media community, a disservice to the activist community, a travesty, an abomination, a treachery to your own cause. We, however, have been doing the exact opposite. We have been combating media censorship, to which you are now a part, an ironic part, because now a victim of that same censorship that you had been part of having us endure within the Minneapolis police and the martial law that is now being imposed on the masses, the martial law that is now being imposed on the masses of the Denver convention as well. The mass arrests that I was talking about with Operation Falcon, the removal of habeas corpus, the installation of the Security Commissions Act. Yes, you had 2 of your reporters arrested. Yes, you were arrested and pushed down to the ground. I was left in a pool of blood. We told you what we had been through. We told you about the covert trial after I was abused with members and or affiliates of FBI, CIA, NSA on the jury pool. Yes, FBI, those same members of that joint Minneapolis Police FBI task force that attacked the members of your station, the same ones that brutalized individuals within a legally law-abiding civil rights protest. Well, it's very clear that we have martial law coming upon us. But unfortunately, while you now protest the actions that were taken against you, you've been complicit in censoring the development and the oncome of these same militaristic, fascistic, draconian mechanisms by censoring people who would have come forward earlier on to let the people know about the truth. It is no small wonder that you've been referred to as a left-wing gatekeeper by Alex Jones of InfoWars, with whom I spoke directly, and by Jack Blood, also with whom I spoke directly. And this is not meant to be desecration upon your name. This is meant to expose some truth. Amy Goodman, if we are to overcome oppression and persecution of the masses, then people need to work together, not on side agendas of censorship, not pretending to be something that we're not. So I ask you, what is it that you stand for? Is it that you stand for the people and the upholding of the civil rights, democratic liberties, and dignities that we stand for, or is it that you uphold protest of the treatment that you yourself received, and yet covertly are one and the same, synonymous with the elements that would have persecuted those people on that same day? It hurts when you're on the receiving end, doesn't it? aaronjamesstory.com. Now I'm here in my home, barricaded behind my door, where there have been 12 attempts upon my life, FBI, CIA persecution upon my family, and FBI cyber threats. You can see it all on my website. After we exposed the corruption within the Minneapolis police force, the KKK affiliations with the Minneapolis police, which has now spawned, of course, martial law, and the connection is now not surprising. They've now used Canadian police. In fact, 4 of them were criminally charged to first attempt my kidnapping or murder on October 27th of 2007 in response to our online exposure of their crimes. And have come back to do the same thing on 12 separate occasions. But when we did not have evidence before, we now have videotaped evidence and testimony of the latest attempt. And you can go to my website, my YouTube account at ajames1000 here, and you can take a look at the video of the videotaped testimony of individuals having witnessed this. Again, are you contributor to this problem, or are you part of the solution, Amy? Censorship of individuals trying to report on those very facts and those very incidents to which you now protest is not helpful. If we're to overcome repression and militaristic, fascistic repression of the peoples, then we must work together as a whole, not against each other. It's something that you might want to consider the next time somebody comes and tells you about the repression of the people, to allow them their story and not censor something which is valid and which is affecting all of us. Again, a lesson to be learned, Amy. That which affects the least of us affects the most of us. That which affects the individual affects the masses. And you are now seeing the results of censorship that you ought to have reported on a great deal of time ago and much earlier on. AaronJamesStory.com. Police state repression exposed, media government aligned censorship exposed, and the tools and the information by which the common individual can gain the knowledge and wisdom to overcome. Thank you.